How many times would you keep going after failure? 5, 10, 50? What if you were rejected 100 times, 500 times, 1,000 times? Most people would give up long before. But one who didn't. His story reminds us that success is never about luck. It's about relentless persistence. An old man in a white suit, carrying a battered briefcase filled with handwritten recipes, walked door to door, restaurant to restaurant. "Would you like to try my chicken?" he asked. One rejection, then another, and another. By the time he heard his first yes, he had been turned down 1,009 times. That old man was Colonel Harland Sanders, the founder of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Let's get into his story. Harland David Sanders was born in 1890 in Henryville, Indiana. His early life was marked by hardship. When he was just 6, his father died, leaving his mother to work long hours to support the family. Harland was forced to cook for his younger siblings, sparking his lifelong passion for food. By the age of 10, he was already working odd jobs to help the family survive. Sanders didn't have a straight career path. In fact, he failed at almost everything he tried. He worked as a farmhand. He joined the army but left after a year. He tried his hand as a streetcar conductor, insurance salesman, and even a lawyer, but he was fired or quit each time. By his own account, he had more failures than successes. Still, one thing never left him: his ability to cook. In the 1930s, during the Great Depression, Sanders opened a small service station in Corbin, Kentucky. Alongside fueling cars, he began cooking for travelers, serving fried chicken, country ham, and steak. Word spread quickly. People came not just for gas, but for Sanders' fried chicken. He perfected a secret blend of 11 herbs and spices and pioneered pressure frying to cook chicken faster without losing flavor. His little roadside cafe grew popular. By 1939, it was even listed in the famous Michelin Guide. For the first time, Sanders felt he had found his calling. But in 1955, disaster struck. A new interstate highway bypassed Corbin, diverting traffic away from Sanders' restaurant. His business collapsed. At 65 years old, he was forced to sell his property at auction. After paying off debts, he was left with a monthly Social Security check of just $105. Many would have retired in defeat, but Sanders didn't see an ending. He saw a new beginning. Instead of giving up, Sanders packed his recipe, his pressure cooker, and his dream into the trunk of his car. He set out on the road, visiting restaurants across the United States. His offer was simple: "I'll show you how to cook my chicken. If customers like it, you pay me a small commission for every piece sold." At first, people laughed. An old man with no money, no business, no backing, selling fried chicken. But Sanders believed in his recipe with unshakable faith. The journey was not easy, but brutal. Sanders knocked on doors, often sleeping in his car. Restaurant owners turned him away, sometimes rudely. The rejections piled up: 100, 200, 500. At this rate, most people would have quit. But he didn't. He kept going. By the time he heard his first yes, he had faced 1,009 rejections. That one yes was all he needed to prove the world wrong. Slowly, more restaurants joined. Customers loved the crispy, flavorful chicken. Word spread. Sanders' fried chicken franchise began to grow. By 1963, over 600 restaurants across the U.S. were serving his recipe. He had gone from living on $105 a month to becoming the founder of a nationwide food empire. In 1964, Sanders sold the KFC Corporation for $2 million, around $20 million today. He was already in his 70s. While many saw retirement as the end, Sanders had proven that age is no barrier to success. Even after selling, he remained the brand's ambassador, traveling the world in his iconic white suit and black string tie, becoming a symbol of determination and hospitality. What began as a single roadside cafe turned into one of the largest fast food chains in history. Today, KFC has over 25,000 restaurants in more than 145 countries. Colonel Sanders didn't just create fried chicken, he created a global brand. And he did it after most people thought his life was already over. Despite his success, Sanders never lost his humility. He was known to sit down with customers, share stories, and even cook in restaurants to ensure quality. He often said, "I made a resolve then that I was going to amount to something if I could, and no hours, nor amount of labor, nor amount of money would deter me from giving the best there was in me." Colonel Sanders' life teaches us, failure isn't permanent, it's feedback. Age is never an excuse. It's never too late to chase your dream. Persistence beats rejection. Sometimes you just need one yes. His 1,009 rejections weren't failures. They were steps on the road to success. Think about it. What dream are you holding back on because of fear of rejection? What if Sanders had stopped after his 100th no? His 500th? His 1,000th? The world would have never known KFC. Your idea, your dream, your passion, it might be the next thing the world is waiting for. So keep knocking, keep trying, because success doesn't require thousands of yeses. It only requires one. Colonel Sanders passed away in 1980 at the age of 90. But his legacy lives on every time someone enjoys a piece of fried chicken. From a struggling boy in Indiana, to a man rejected over 1,000 times, to a global icon, his story proves that persistence can turn even the smallest idea into something legendary. And so, whenever you see that smiling face in a white suit, remember this. It's not just chicken. It's a story of never giving up.